Greetings comic lovers and welcome back to Casually Comics, the channel where we chat all things comics, from reviews of comics new and old, to history, to anecdotes, to really wherever our whims take us. The Batman Who Laughs. Arguably, or I guess demonstrably, the breakout character from the Dark Knight's Metal event. This event started in 2017 and ran through 2018. It was the brainchild of Scott Snyder, and reunited him with artist Greg Capullo. The two had worked together previously on the New 52 Batman, and done some of the more well-received arcs from that reboot era, such as The Court of Owls, in of which Capullo drew one of my favorite disturbing Batman images ever. This one right here, with Batman morphing into a giant owl. It's disgusting, amazing, and horrifying. Where's my disc plate? Put it somewhere over there. Looking over there. So Dark Knight's Metal, currently at the time of this recording, has a sequel. It is ongoing. Dark Knight's Death Metal. We're keeping it going. But what was Dark Knight's Metal? Okay, get ready for cliff notes. Firstly, Snyder claimed he was working on Metal since he was working on Batman. Laying the groundwork, sowing the seeds. He was playing chess and we were reading comics. The main gist of the story is Batman discovers the existence of a dark multiverse, a concept that crystallized in Snyder's mind while watching that Neil deGrasse Tyson documentary, Cosmos, a space-time odyssey, with his 5-year-old son. Basically, there are negative universes represented by negative numbers that exist underneath the already established multiverse. Well, underneath, that's all I mean. Space. This allows one to expand outside the 52 alternate universes in existence. I mean, you could have said there were just infinite universes, but I mean, dark multiverse. It's the kind of thing that sounds really cool when you're 10, and you get older and it doesn't sound quite as cool, but you can't be mad because the inner 10-year-old you remembers how cool it would have sounded at that time. Dark multiverse. In the dark multiverse, events will always end badly, as opposed to the main multiverse. Despite the fact that this actually counteracts the history of some of the main multiverses that we've seen, which is fine. I mean, retcons do that, but people try and retroactively apply it and be like, no, this universe would still have ended up fine. And I'm like, this retcon happened 30 years after that. It's okay. Not everything needs to entirely coalesce. It's one of those retcons where it's clearly meant to be cool and facilitate the current event rather than be reassigned to everything that came before, even though they do kind of attempt that, and that's where things can sometimes get a little bit messy. If we try to untangle it, we'd be here all day. The point is there's a dark multiverse. The dark multiverse, and well, the normal multiverse, are connected through various metals. And since Snyder likes Batman, actually loves Batman, and we're talking about serious love, like Batman is the most important character of all time level love, Batman unleashes a bunch of dark Batmen from across the dark multiverse and their Bat-God-like leader with a name few can credibly say upon the main multiverse, one of whom is the Batman Who Laughs, a fusion of Batman, Bruce Wayne, and the Joker. Snyder has said this on designing the Batman Who Laughs: he's basically Batman's worst nightmare come to life. Batman if he was infected by the Joker toxin and lost all sense of ethics. What he wants to do in Gotham is bring Bruce's worst nightmares to life. The name for the character comes from the two characters' histories, specifically inspirations for their origins. We have 2 films, one for each character respectively. On the Joker side, we have The Man Who Laughs, based off the incredibly depressing 1869 Victor Hugo novel L'Homme qui rit, which is the exact same title, just in French. Victor Hugo écrit en français. The movie from 1928 is a rough watch, and features a great performance from Conrad Veidt as the titular character. He keeps his face in that rictus for the entire film, but still manages to convey just pain, sorrow, anguish, everything through the eyes. It really works, and of course it's a silent film too, so a lot of it comes across that way. It's just devastating. Also, it just looks really painful. I mean, visually, the similarities between him and the Joker are striking. On the Batman side, we have The Bat Whispers from 1930, which was based on a 1920 play simply called The Bat. This one also is more imagery based, because the Bat is a criminal who ends up terrorizing the occupants of a house, but you have lots of bat shadows everywhere. The name of the character is also a little bit of a nod to the Man Who Laughs story, wherein Batman is supposed to have encountered the Joker for the first time, canonically. Again, because he's encountered him many times in various periods of canonical history. Hear that? The sirens are coming. They're coming for the Joker. So the Batman Who Laughs definitely had a distinctive, if not entirely original, look, and he broke out. We actually did a vid on some similarities he shares with other versions way back at the start of this channel. But while he got promoted in death metal, now he's Lord Batman Who Laughs. Which, oh man, that's even more 10-year-old sounding than the dark multiverse. Still, those comics just want you to have fun. They even say that in them, so it's kind of hard to be mad at that. They're like, have fun. No, I mean, I have said no. Look at my Gwenpool reviews. So whether you feel he's overused or overrated or not, he's coming around again, so I figured it's a good time to take a look at his origin, not his first appearance. They're different. But before we do that, I'm Sasha, and if you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join us on this comic book journey. We hop from era to era and topic to topic. Sadly not in one long, incredibly unbroken sentence because I enjoy jump cuts too much for that. The Batman Who Laugh's origin was detailed in a tie-in comic, as were some of the other evil alternate Batmen. The main ones. It was a good chance to expand upon the lore of the event, and also because with these events, especially modern ones, well, there's gonna be at least 5 tie-ins. The more tie-ins we can get, the better. Make them buy it all. The Batman Who Laughs. Story by James Tynion IV. Art by Riley Rossmo. Colors by Ivan Placencia. We start with the Batman Who Laughs playing with some tarot cards and monologuing seemingly at us, the reader. Always primed for a good monologue. Hit me up, I'll go get some coffee.
You really thought you had it all figured out. That you knew every combination in the deck, and it would thrill you every time you were right, when the hand came down in a familiar pattern, a familiar story.
Get ready for interpretations on the Trinity, always welcome. Represented as different tarot cards.
About an outsider who can see the good in all of us, about how we all have the power to fight for what is right, about how we can each overcome our darkest moments.
Do you feel like the Batman Who Laughs knows what's up about the Trinity, or do you have different takes? I want to know. Let me know down below. Just because someone's monologuing doesn't mean we can't go off on a tangent. But the Batman Who Laughs doesn't have time for tangents. He has an origin to tell. And also more card metaphors to dish out when he pulls a Joker from his tarot deck. Pulled a wild card. I see your reference there. It's subtle, and I enjoy it, and it works on a couple of levels. We now are looking at Earth -22, with, in my opinion, a bizarrely placed negative symbol, but maybe they were afraid if they put it lower it would look like a hyphen. We know that comics love hyphens. The Joker is terrorizing Gotham and seeking to push Batman over the edge. He's learned his identity and is systemically trying to break him. He's paralyzed Batman, he's taken over the city, he's even melted Commissioner Gordon in a vat of acid, and there's a pipe. The joke too far. It has to exist, Bruce. I know it does. Well, tonight, I'm gonna tell it. I'll shout it from the damn rooftops. Can you hear me, Batman? Can you? The Joker then brings up a family, having them walk down an alley and seemingly ambushes them, killing the girl's parents right in front of her, just like what happened to Bruce all those years ago. He tells the little girl not to cry before Jokerizing her. And it turns out he has a whole group of families lined up and he's just gonna do it over and over, and in fact has been.
Joker, stop, stop, stop.
Never. You still don't have the guts, Bruce, do you? No, it's gonna be you and me together forever.
Stop, stop, stop.
And so he takes the ultimate step and he kills him, and as he does, a gas emits from his corpse, just enveloping them.
2 days later. He was dying, Clark. The chemicals that made him the Joker, they were starting to eat him away from the inside. That's what pushed him to take things so far. Why he pushed me.
Sometimes my Batman's going through puberty. It's a thing. Him and Clark have a frank discussion about how he feels about killing him. And Bruce admits that he's not sorry he's dead, but he refuses to become what the Joker wanted him to. Which is a good line and actually really heartbreaking because we've already seen how this story ends, so we know what happens. The kids that were Jokerized are still that way, and no cure has been found yet. They're just wild Joker children. Clark is stepping in as his invulnerability means that he can help with the therapy sessions and not be hurt, because these kids have been attacking their therapists. The last one who came in nearly had their throat bitten out. At this fact, Batman laughs.
3 days later.
The Bat family receives a summons to the cave to train, which Nightwing thinks, as the kids say, is hella sus. Cringe. Feel the cringe. Just let it wash over you like a full body exercise. Something's wrong. Talk to us, Bruce. We're family.
When I killed the Joker, I was infected with a new strain of nanotoxin, unlike anything I've seen before.
He goes on to say that it was always in the Joker, but was only released upon his death.
It's been at work for nearly a week, rewiring my mind to make it more like his.
So we're going, it's largely the chemicals that make him this way rather than the one bad day. Well, kind of a combination of both. One bad day with chemicals. Ace Chemicals bad, not even once.
It was his last wish that whoever killed him would become him.
Well, I mean, now you're just extrapolating. He's dead. He can't tell you that. I mean, I guess you knew him pretty well, or getting that ace chemical insight.
You don't understand.
Yes, we do, Bruce. We've all been hurt by that monster before.
I know. That's why I brought you here.
Well, we're here to help.
No, not to help, Jason. I brought you here because the four of you would notice something was wrong with me before anyone else would. And I'm sorry. I can't allow that.
And so he turns, gunning them down, showing just how far along his transformation really is. I'm also scandalized to see that Jason's helmet isn't bulletproof. Jason, what are you doing? You already died once. Well, I mean, now twice. 1 week later.
I've been thinking a lot the last few days about the man I was.
So this panel is horrifying in so many ways, and also wants me to believe that Batman could take out the entire Justice League. However, in all fairness, DC has wanted me to think that for decades. I mean, if he did it one at a time, and if you were strategic, and if he did indeed use some of the weapons that he says are up on the Watchtower, which include things like doomsday devices, then yeah, I guess. Don't put all your doomsday devices in one place. Anybody can snap. Anybody. You'd think that I've seen enough possessed people and stuff by now. Questions about the Martian Manhunter, though. He doesn't look burned. How'd you get rid of him? Bruce mentions those doomsday weapons and says that he wants to use them. Why'd I do this? Like, here you go, doomsday weapon. He also reveals that the Joker's fashion sense is alive and well, because there's always time, even mid-murder spree, to design yourself a new costume. And may I say, I love it. The green symbol and inner cape lining are a particular favorite.
The people, they'll see what you are. They'll fight back. They better. What fun would it be if they didn't fight back?
Oh my God, Clark, what is he? Dad, my eyes. Something's wrong with my eyes. I'm scared.
Tell your wife and son that it's gonna be all right. That the good guys always win in the end.
That subtle shift in the speech bubble to show that his transformation is nearing completion, it's a really nice touch.
I won't cheapen what I stand for. I won't lie to my family.
Batman then reveals that he has all new Robins, Jokerized children, and one special one, his son, Damian. Bruce then reveals that he has black kryptonite, which we originally saw on Smallville. Thanks, Smallville. In that medium, when it first appeared, it was used to split Kryptonians into two parts, good half, bad half. But Bruce has modified this black kryptonite, so instead it's gonna turn Superman murderous and then kill him. So he'll tear his own family apart, then die. And of course it also affects his son John, so they'll both turn on Lois first.
It was simple, really. Killing my world.
And so we have the Batman Who Laughs being recruited to the Dark Knight's Metal event. And it's revealed he was talking to someone, not just us, and I feel less special and hurt.
When I was Bruce Wayne, I thought with enough preparation I would always win, but I was wrong. To win, you need to be able to adapt. To adapt, you need to be able to laugh away all the restraints holding you back. You see, a Batman who laughs is a Batman who always wins.
So the idea of Batman having to wrestle with becoming the Joker or like the Joker is not a new one. But just because an idea isn't brand spanking new doesn't mean it can't be well executed. And this one here, in my opinion, is well done. It pumps a lot of tragedy and human emotion into its pages. The biggest, of course, is Bruce's awareness of the fact that he is changing, about to become what he least wanted. It's a terrifying concept. There's something chilling about the idea of slowly being changed past the point where you even care that it's happening, where you can see it, but it doesn't even matter to you anymore. It also has a decent look at Clark and Bruce's friendship. They just speak like people, and there's a weight to their history. You can just feel it. The way they talk like people who have known each other for a long time and who have been through a lot together. Even the brief dialogue with the Bat Fam reeks of their history together. There are just certain panels in this comic that get to me in like a good way, that make me feel something. Like Superman clutching his family in his arms, saying he won't lie to them. All the little things, like the speech bubble slowly changing along with Bruce. It's a descent that makes sense and is horrifying to witness. This definitely lines up with the title of Dark. It's not pleasant. It's cruel. For me, it really worked, but it's not perfect, and I can see why some wouldn't like it. It does ask you to buy a lot into the Batman is the smartest man in the room, nay the city, nay the planet, nay the universe mentality. That he can do absolutely anything. There's no force that could stop him. If you're not here for that, then this whole concept could seem just overblown, silly, and so could the Batman Who Laughs. Just be like, calm down. Just, get Superman in there. Just give him some DCEU juice. Just I can suspend my disbelief for it, but there is some clear bat fetish going on in this whole event, and I can see that being off-putting. Also, there's when are you coming to this? Because since all of this, the Batman Who Laughs has been used a lot at the time of this recording. Like maybe it's the future and they don't use him anymore, but time of this recording, since this event, a lot. So I can definitely see some him again style burnout. For me, for what this is and what it's trying to accomplish, I think it really works. A fusion of Batman and his arch nemesis into something monstrous. Of all the Dark Knight tie-ins, I come back to this one the most. Mostly because of that cape though. But what do you think of it? And what do you think of the Batman Who Laughs? What do you think about his green lined cape? Let me know everything down below. And while you're down there, please do all the YouTube things. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications so that you never miss a vid. And we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.